I got broads in Atlanta, just to go in the family. Credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Late Show. I'm your host, Ali Falone, and we're gonna have a great show tonight. Just wait, with special guests with Mark Twain, David Foster Wallace, Bill Maher, Bill Maher. And don't forget, special performances by none other than, it's a surprise. I'm not gonna tell you guys, it's a surprise. So what do you think about tonight's show, Steve?
This show is gonna be amazing. Let's get rolling.
You know what? I think the same thing too. Why don't we just start off already? Let's go back to my seat. So we're gonna kick off the show with a good friend of mine. He's known worldwide for a special piece called Cornpone Opinions. Here is none other than Mark Twain. How you doing? Sit down. Okay. What was your writing process in writing your piece? What was the purpose and any rhetorical strategy you might have used?
The purpose for writing my piece of cornpone opinion was to define what a cornpone opinion is and to demonstrate that all cornpone opinions are based upon seeking out other people's approval. Some rhetorical strategies I used in my text are paradox, allusion, anecdotes, and a random understatement. The quote I chose for anecdote was about the black philosopher and his ideas which influenced the people because he talks about a real incident that happened. The quote I chose for ironic understatement was one woman abandons the fashion, her neighbors notice this and follows her lead, this influences the next woman, and so on and so on. I chose it because it talks about how the people follow each other's steps on fashion and even other stuff.
So basically, this was more of a like, if society does it, people follow it.
Yes, people follow each other's steps in most of the stuff.
What do you think about this, Steve? Is this true?
Of course, there's a lot of people in today's society just trying to follow this trend, just like the bandwagons, like the Warriors fans.
You're right about that one. So were there any text connections you probably used in this?
I use the text to world connections because it connects to the world situations and how people's opinions affect each other in some ways, like in fashion.
So it's not just like in the United States side, it's worldwide.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. I hope you still stay. We have another guest. Our next guest is a funny. He has his own show called Real Time with Bill Maher. Is the funny Bill Maher. Thanks for being here. Well, thank you for coming, Bill. Now, you recently did an episode on your show of Real Time with Bill Maher, and you're talking about American exceptionalism. Can you explain more
My
about it?
purpose of my text was to ridicule Republicans and their political views, also to demonstrate how California is doing way better than other states.
Referring to that, I'd like to mention how you used City Upon a Hill as a metaphor to show how California should be a role model to other states.
Yeah, that was one of the rhetorical strategies you used. Is there any other rhetorical strategies that you used in your speech or in
Yes.
your show?
Yes, as he said, I used metaphor, and I also used sarcasm, humor, and diction.
Can you elaborate more on those?
Again, because
But we could just cut that out.
yeah, okay. In another example, in my episode, I stated about Mitt Romney hating California and moved to San Diego. I used humor to convey that he is irrelevant and this is just the fact of opposed liberals. In another rhetorical strategy, my diction is utilizing foul language to emphasize my tone towards the Republicans, which was a dislike for their political views. I also used imagery in order to create an image that will help us visualize the populous California, for example. There are 40 million of us, so when California sets a high mileage standard for any car sold in this state. This also goes to show that many people oppose political views.
Well, that's great. That's great. And was there any connections that you purposely did towards anyone?
Yeah, I was trying to connect to the world because in the way that California represents the foreign policies where there is free medical insurance and college tuition.
Such as the foreign policies existing in Europe, like the single payer system where the government pays for the medical insurance.
Wow, so you actually thought through about when you were doing this episode.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
Right there. Okay, my last guest is a liberal arts professor. He is known for his speech, "This is Water." He is none other than David Foster Wallace.
I'm stoner, 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 I'm stoner.
Yeah, take a seat, man. Take a seat. Take a seat. So how you been, dude? How you been?
I've been lit. I've been good. How about you?
So in your speech of "This is Water," what were you trying to convey to the graduates?
Well, I was just trying to motivate and cultivate liberal arts graduates to continue to use their education in order to gain empathy of others. So that way they continue to critically think and analyze. You feel me, man?
I hear you.
You feel me?
So what was your process like? What were you doing when creating this speech to motivate the graduates?
Well, I was in the basement with some good friends of mine. We were rolling up a burrito. We had carne asada, some good cilantro.
Oh, cilantro.
Cilantro.
Okay,
And
cilantro.
I just came up with the idea to inspire and motivate these students to just embrace reality and just leave their default setting,
And what is the default setting that you're talking about?
The default setting, man, it's embedded in all of us, man. It makes us do the things we would normally do. Like if someone cuts you off in traffic, you just automatically think, man, I hate that guy. And you know what? That's not love. We need to spread love, man.
I hear you. And were there any rhetorical strategies you used in order to inspire these students, these graduates?
There were many rhetorical strategies. One of them was paradox. I used it when these two dude fishes were swimming along in the ocean, and this one old dude fish just swam along and asked the two dude fishes, "Hey, what's up? How's the water?" And the two dude fishes were like, "Hey man, what's water?"
And what were you talking about right there?
I was just saying that not all of us are aware of our surroundings. We're not aware of what's going on around us, man.
Okay. Can you explain the other ones?
I used ironic understatement in the second paragraph. I tried establishing my credibility by telling the students that, I'm on the same level as them. I don't think I'm higher or lower than them, Okay. And I go on to use didactic. I use this in the second paragraph. My purpose was to teach the moral understanding that we all tend to believe that we're the center of the universe. We think it's all about us, but in reality, it ain't, man. I also use metaphor in paragraph 9 because I bring up the idea of the default setting again, and I just compare it to how we all just tend to just think about ourselves.
And what exactly do you mean by we think ourselves as the center of the universe?
What I mean is that everyone in society, man, everyone thinks it's gimme, but in reality it should be giving to others. Like I should care less about what's going on with me. Like I should worry more about what's going on with you,
So you're saying
And you, especially you. I love you, man.
So you're saying that we have the power, we choose, you can choose whether or not we could be in our default setting?
We have the power. We have the power. We just choose not to use it.
I hear you, David. Now, is there any connections you wanted to point out about your speech?
Yeah, I mean, there's one text-to-text connection that I really want to point out. My text really connects to the Glass Castle. You know how Jeanette's mom, she really cared about her art career, and the kids were over here suffering without food, without a nice home or anything, And
Yeah.
that's really self-centered of a mom to just care about her own career rather than her children's future and the way they're living,
And you think if she chose to focus more on her children, that their lives of Jeanette and her cities would have been different?
Of course, man. I mean, she had a job at the school, but she gave it up for her art career. I mean, if she would have kept that job, there would have been more money for the kids, more food on the table. Her life would have been great.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I think that wraps up with the questions and everything with the interview. Thank you for being here. It's been such a pleasure. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. So, do you think there's any similarities or differences between all these writers?
There's some similarities and a little bit of differences too. So one similarity is with Mark Twain's and Bill Mayer's pieces. Mark Twain mentions how people follow the trend, and in Mayer's piece, he says that California is replicating trends in European countries, how single-payer system, free tuition in college.
Yeah, and basically the differences are basically the purposes and the total strategies they use. I mean, each purpose had a different because they were trying to convey a different point across to the audience and everything.
Yeah, I agree. And they use different strategies.
Yeah,
too.
different strategies, as I said.
Let's bring up their tone and diction they used in their pieces. Let me talk about Mar real quick. Mar had a very critical tone, I believe, and he was criticizing Republicans and their beliefs, and he was really encouraging California's laws and policies and ideas they were going to put forth in the future.
Yeah, and when it comes to Mark Twain, he was more informational in his diction and tone.
Yeah.
He just wanted to demonstrate that people actually follow popularity, and that popularity influences their choices. And when it comes to David Foster Wallace, in his speech, it was mostly motivational. He was just trying to inspire his graduates. He was trying to just get them started into life, into the real world.
Even though that may be the hardest part right after graduating.
Yeah. Well, I think that wraps up the show. Thank you for joining in. And please have. Oh, this is a musical performance. Bruce Lee! What are you doing? The show's over. Come on, get out.